Let me guess. You don't actually want to be rich. You want to be comfortable. You want enough money that bills don't stress you out, enough that you don't panic when your car makes a weird noise, enough that you can book a flight, replace a laptop, or say yes to dinner without opening your banking app first. You don't fantasize about yachts or private jets. You fantasize about peace, about not thinking about money all the time. And that right there is the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't actually want to be rich. They want security. And those two things are not the same. My name is Brian, and I probably think about money and financial psychology more than I should. And if you're someone who works hard, earns decent money, but still feels like real wealth always stays just out of reach, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're not talking about how to get rich. We're talking about why most people don't actually want to. Here's the thing. If you ask almost anyone, do you want to be rich? They'll say yes. But if you watch how they live, how they choose, how they react to opportunity, you'll see something very different. They turn down uncertain opportunities. They avoid responsibility that comes with higher income. They choose predictable paths even when the upside is clearly capped. That's not because they're dumb. It's because they're human. Here's what most people don't realize. Being rich isn't just about having more money. It's about living with more uncertainty, more responsibility, more decisions, more exposure to failure. And humans are wired to avoid all of that. Security feels good immediately. Wealth feels uncomfortable for a long time before it feels good. Security tells your nervous system you're safe. Wealth tells your nervous system you're not sure yet. And your brain hates not sure. Let's talk about security. Security looks like a steady paycheck, a fixed schedule, benefits, a predictable monthly routine. You know what's coming in, you know what's going out. You can plan your life. That predictability is soothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But wealth lives on the other side of predictability. Wealth requires leverage, ownership, delayed gratification, long time horizons, and none of those feel good at the beginning. Imagine someone making $75,000 a year. Good job, stable career, annual raises. Then they're offered a role where the average income is $120,000, but it's commission-based. Suddenly, the math changes. Some months could be incredible, some months could be scary, and the internal dialogue starts. What if I fail? What if I make less than I do now? What if this ruins my stability? So they stay. They didn't choose less money, they chose certainty. Behavioral economists have studied this for decades. Most people would rather take a guaranteed $50,000 than a 50% chance at $120,000, even though the expected value favors the risk. Why? Because losses hurt about twice as much as gains feel good. Your brain isn't designed to maximize money, it's designed to minimize pain. Here's where it gets really interesting. Once people reach basic comfort, motivation changes. Below comfort, money solves problems. Above comfort, money creates responsibility. So instead of chasing more, people protect what they have. That's why income often plateaus even when opportunity doesn't. Not because people can't grow, but because growth feels threatening. Wealth concentrates responsibility. More money means more decisions, more people relying on you, more pressure to maintain performance. If you earn a salary and your boss messes up, you're still paid. If you own the business and something goes wrong, that's on you. That weight pushes people away from wealth long before money does. And then there's identity. This is the part nobody talks about. We all carry stories about who we are. I'm not a money person. I just want a simple life. I don't care about status. Those stories feel virtuous, but they also protect us from discomfort. Wealth threatens identity. If you suddenly start caring deeply about income, risk, and leverage, you might have to rewrite the story you tell about yourself. So instead of saying, I don't want to be rich, people say, money doesn't matter that much to me. But behavior always reveals priorities. Here's a simple analogy. Security is like cardio. It's healthy, it's sustainable, you know exactly what to expect. Wealth is like strength training, progressive overload, discomfort, occasional failure. Most people want to be healthy, not strong. To earn $80,000 a year, you can follow rules. To earn $300,000 a year, you have to bend them. You need leverage, equity, ownership, systems that work when you're not. Those things don't reward you immediately. They test you first. Now, you might be thinking, I want both security and wealth, and that's completely reasonable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You usually get them in sequence. First comes instability, then comes wealth, then comes self-built security. People who are wealthy long-term didn't start safe. They ended safe. This is something almost nobody wants to hear, because instability feels like failure, even when it's part of the process. Here's something subtle most people miss. The moment income growth threatens lifestyle predictability, people slow down. They stop taking chances. They stop learning aggressively. They stop pushing themselves. Not because they're lazy, but because stability feels like success. And for many people, it is success. There is nothing wrong with choosing security. The problem is saying you want wealth while making decisions designed for safety. That contradiction creates frustration, not poverty. So instead of asking how to get rich, ask a better question. How much uncertainty am I willing to tolerate? That single answer predicts your financial future better than IQ, education, or talent. Wealth is not about greed. It's about responsibility. It's about choosing delayed comfort over immediate calm. It's about being willing to feel uncertain longer than most people. If you want actionable steps, start here. Define what enough actually means to you, not what social media says, not what your peers earn, your number. Separate money from identity. You can want wealth without becoming someone you dislike. Take small, controlled risks. You don't need to gamble your life. You need exposure to upside. Expect discomfort. That feeling doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It usually means you're early. And most importantly, choose consciously. Because most people don't fail to get rich. They succeed at getting safe. And safety is seductive. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it feels responsible. But if you feel stuck, it's probably not because you lack discipline. It's because your brain values certainty more than upside. Wealth is not mysterious. It's a trade. Security now versus optionality later. Once you see that, money stops feeling confusing. It becomes a mirror. So if this changed how you think about money, subscribe for more videos like this. Share it with someone who says they want to be rich but never wants to feel uncomfortable. And ask yourself this: am I actually chasing wealth, or am I protecting security? I'll see you in the next one.